Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Time is ticking, and manager Rob Pelinka needs to understand that the window is closing for LeBron James and that he needs to sign new players. The Lakers could wait until late January or early February to make a move, giving themselves time to evaluate their roster and see if players like Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood can fill some holes. Bringing back a great point guard could be one of the solutions at the moment, because it will also bring a great center. And the Lakers need these two players. Rumors, big trade with Chicago Bulls, bring star back to Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Lakers are poised to be one of the few teams that will make a big move or two as we approach the trade deadline. LA desperately needs a massive trade to bolster their roster and is desperate to make one. The Lakers are not a contender as of now. They have a 14-12 record and have lost 8 of their last 12 games. While they've improved on the defensive end, at least from their past 2 games, LA has a long way to go if they even want to be mentioned in the title contender conversation. The Lakers have been linked to many names recently, but this trade proposal would see them reunite with one of their former players while also adding a big that they have needed for a long time. Lakers receive Lonzo Ball and Nikola Vucevic. Bulls receive D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, protections off a 2027 first-round draft pick, and a 2025 second-round draft pick. The Lakers acquire their old friend Lonzo Ball, while also acquiring a solid big with some scoring punch in Nikola Vucevic. Ball was a Laker for the first 2 years of his career and was solid before LA dealt him to New Orleans for their current superstar, Anthony Davis. Born and raised in Southern California, Ball was supposed to be the next in line as the great Lakers point guard, but LA got rid of him on a win-now trade for Davis. While it worked out as LA captured a title, the Lakers have made questionable moves since then. This trade helps the Lakers get a solid point guard, albeit with a serious injury history. Ball has only played 10 games in the last 3 seasons due to multiple knee surgeries in his left knee. It is a big risk for LA, but as we've seen in the past, he and James work great together. The cherry on top of this deal is undoubtedly Vucevic. The Lakers get their big in this deal, although it is an older player, 34 years old. Nonetheless, they would have him for the rest of this season and the next before he hits free agency in 2026. In this potential deal, the Lakers get rid of 3 players who have been on the trading block for some time. Russell and Hachimura are on expiring deals, and the Bulls would get back some serious draft capital to launch them into their rebuild if they choose to go that way. Bringing Ball back to Los Angeles would be a full-circle moment for the player and the franchise. Ball has previously displayed promising chemistry with James, and his defensive skill set could help the Lakers' perimeter defense. However, his injury history poses a significant risk, and the Lakers must weigh a potential reward against the gamble. Lonzo is not the player he was when he last wore the purple and gold. After numerous injuries, he will likely never be the player many expected when he was drafted as a potential future star for the Lakers. That said, perhaps returning home could be what Ball needs to get back on his old career path. Max Christie wants to keep growing as player after being named starter. Entering the 2024-25 season, the Los Angeles Lakers were expecting big things from Max Christie. The Lakers re-signed Christie to a 4-year, $32 million in the offseason, which was a sign of their confidence he could be a rotation piece for head coach J.J. Redick. However, Christie struggled in a bigger role to begin the season and was relegated to the bench. However, Redick named him a starter against the Memphis Grizzlies, and he responded with a strong effort on the defensive end. Christie revealed Redick told him right before the game he would start and later explained he's looking forward to continue growing as a player while in the starting lineup. It feels good and it's pretty cool just to see the progression and the growth in terms of just me over the last 3 years, to be honest, Christie said. I think I've slowly gotten a little bit better, being put in more intense situations, more important situations, and I think these are good experiences for me guarding a dynamic player like Ja at the end of the game. I think it's cool for me just to kind of reflect on the growth that I've had. I want to keep that going. Christie also acknowledged that being thrown into the proverbial fire has helped accelerate his growth as a player. I think just kind of being in the fire, to be honest, is how I've grown. I think in previous years, I haven't been on a lot of high-pressure, high-stakes situations. This year I've had a few of those. Okay, see, I obviously made a big mistake in that one, but I think that's a good lesson for me. It's trial by fire, right? So you get thrown in the fire, you make a mistake, you learn from it, and like you said, a week later in Atlanta I come up with the big block. Tonight, I'm in for most of the game, guarding a really good player. So it's kind of just the growth of just being in the fire, failing a lot, and then you gotta fail before you succeed. So kind of just staying the course, one foot in front of the other when you make mistakes, and just kind of learning and doing the best I can. Christie's one of the few true 3 and D style wings on the roster and thus will be leaned on to pick up the toughest defensive assignments. It's a lot to ask from the 21-year-old, but Los Angeles and Redick don't have much of a choice. J.J. Redick explains decision to move Max Christie into starting lineup. J.J. Redick explained he chose Max Christie to start over Gabe Vincent because of his size and athleticism. However, Redick also outlined the other qualities he would like to see in his ideal fifth starter for the Lakers. Rotation trust level: can the Lakers finally string together wins again? With a starting lineup settled upon, can the Lakers finally go on a winning streak again this season? After multiple weeks of lineup and rotation shuffling due to injuries, the Lakers got back to as close to normal as possible on Sunday. Along with their core of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura, the Lakers landed on Max Christie as the fifth player. For one night, at least, it worked like a charm. And if it continues to work, the Lakers might have some consistency that they've searched for in the starting lineup and rotation since early in the season. Not only does it help the starting lineup, it gives the rest of the rotation more regularity, too, which is not something they've had over most of the last month. Does that help them find production, too? Time will tell. But let's look back over the 2 games last week to get a sense on if the trust in the non-starters has changed. Turs, Austin Reeves, Max Christie, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis. D'Angelo Russell. Foul trouble paired with Russell still being in an absolute slump with his jumper has made his stat line and box scores look pretty rough. As much as I or anyone else may want to argue he's having a better season than those stats may suggest, you do still have to produce. It's tough sledding for D'Lo right now. However, it was roughly this time last season where he went on the run of his life. That'd be a welcome change right about now. Gabe Vincent. There's a big difference between the Gabe Vincent that starts and the one that comes off the bench. Our own Darius Soriano discussed that balance the Lakers were struggling to find when he played as a reserve. They still haven't found it and, at this point, it seems unlikely they will before trading him in the coming months. Cam Reddish. One of the biggest benefits of the Lakers getting healthy is that it will mean fewer minutes for Reddish. Unfortunately, there was no update on Jared Vanderbilt after Tuesday's practice, which surely means his return isn't imminent. So, we're stuck with Reddish, who has won 3-pointer in his last 9 games. He's attempted 15 in that span. Dalton Knecht. Knecht is no closer to breaking through the rookie wall than he was at this time last week. If anything, he's worse off as his minutes are dwindling. If you're looking for optimism, Christie was in the same position earlier this season and worked his way out of it.